child revolution, where healing and consciousness spark transformation, helping you to reclaim your power and create the life you were meant to live.
Welcome back to the Inner Child Revolution. I'm your host, Nico Anna Jean. Today, we're going to talk about the child who had to earn it. There's a kind of exhaustion that sleep doesn't touch. Okay, you can take a day off, you can take the weekend, you can take a vacation, and somewhere underneath it all, there's still a hum, a low-grade pressure that says you should be doing something, producing something, earning your place. If that sounds familiar, this episode is for you. Because that hum isn't a personality trait. It is an ambition, and it isn't even your nervous system being broken. It's a pattern, and it started a long time ago. Until we look at where it came from, no amount of rest is going to quiet this down. A lot of us grew up in homes where love wasn't conditional, even if the people around us would have sworn that it was. Love arrived after the performance, after the good grades, after the helpfulness, after the smile that made the room feel okay again, the attention, the warmth, the approval. It came in response to something. It was earned. This isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's a household where the only time anyone really saw you was when you brought home an A. Sometimes it's a parent who was overwhelmed and only had energy for the easy kid. Sometimes it's a family where being needed was the way you stayed connected. So you learned to be needed. And I want to be really clear here. This isn't about blaming anyone. This is about impact. The impact on a small child who needed love to come freely instead learned that love has terms. This child drew a conclusion. Children always do. They look at the pattern and then they figure out the rule. And the rule was, you have to make yourself worth it. Oh my God. Let's say that again. You have to make yourself worth it. Does that land for you? Do you feel that? You have to generate your value. You have to keep generating it. Because the moment you stop performing and the moment you stop being useful, the love might pull back. That is a terrifying thing for a small person to live with. So the child gets to work, becomes excellent at producing, becomes the helper, the achiever, the easy one, the responsible one. Whatever the family needed, the child supplied it. And it worked. The child got through. The pattern was a survival strategy, and it was a good one. The problem is, it doesn't turn off. You grew up. The family's in the past, but the pattern came with you. Now you're an adult who can't actually rest. The guilt creeps in when you're not producing. A slow morning brings the hum back, and you keep adding to the to-do list. You measure the day in output. You over-deliver. You say yes when you mean no. Throw in an extra session, the extra resource, that extra hour, because somewhere the child is still trying to make sure you're worth keeping. And the cruel part is, it never feels like enough. The proving never lands. You hit the goal and there's no rest at the finish line, just the next goal. Because the child wasn't actually chasing the achievement. The child was chasing safety. And safety never arrives because the rule was never true to begin with. What the child actually needed was to be loved when they did nothing, just for existing, just for being here. That's what love is supposed to be, and that is what every child is entitled to. And the child didn't get that, and there's grief in that, real grief, that the inner adult has to be willing to sit with, not skip past, and not spiritually bypass with everything happens for a reason, actually sitting with it. Because the inner adult has to be the one to finally tell the child the truth. And the truth is, you didn't have to earn it. You never did. Not the love, not the place in your family, not your right to take up space. None of it was ever supposed to be conditional. You were enough before you produced anything. And you were enough on the day that you were born. This is where the reparenting work begins. The inner adult steps in and starts saying things the original adults didn't. You don't have to do anything today to be worthy. I'm here whether you rest or not. You can stop performing. The love doesn't go anywhere. You are not your output. And this is hard. It is so hard because the child's been running this program for decades, and the child doesn't believe you the first time or the 10th time. The child has to hear it and then test it and then hear it again. And that's the work. That's the long, slow reparenting that no one on Instagram is going to package into a quick fix. Florence Scovel Shinn talks about divine inheritance. That abundance is already yours, and you don't have to earn it. And that it was given to you the moment you arrived in this lifetime. This is the truth the proving pattern has been keeping you from. Because if your inheritance is already yours, then all of that earning was unnecessary. All of that performing was unnecessary, and your worth was never up for negotiation. When New Thought teachers talk about prosperity as law, they're not saying you can hustle your way into it. They're saying it operates by spiritual principle. Your job isn't to generate it. Your job is to stop blocking it. The proving pattern is one of the biggest blocks there is, because as long as you believe you have to earn your good, you'll keep creating a life where you have to earn your good. Consciousness creates reality. The inner child running the show is creating a reality that matches what the inner child believes. When the inner adult changes what the child believes, the reality starts to change too. If you're a coach or a healer or a transformation worker, this pattern is in your business whether you can see it yet or not. It's in the way you price your services. You picked a number that felt earnable, a number that matched what you thought you'd produced enough to deserve. Raising your prices feels almost impossible. Every time you think about it, the child panics because raising your prices means asking to be paid more than you proved your worth. And the child has no framework for that. The child's framework is value first, payment after, always. It shows up in the over-delivering too. The extra sessions, the bonus material, the voice note at 9 p.m., still trying to make sure they keep you. And it shows up in who arrives at your door. The clients who need a lot, the ones who drain you, because the caretaker child is still chasing the same role, and the people who show up to play it learned the matching pattern on the other side. The work isn't to push through with better mindset hacks. And the work isn't a new sales script. The work is to go back and tell the child she doesn't have to earn the love anymore. The pricing shifts when the pattern shifts. The client shifts when the pattern shifts. You cannot out-strategy a survival mechanism. You have to actually heal it. If this episode is landing for you, I want to invite you to my free masterclass, The 4-Step Method to Break Toxic Cycles and Become the Coach You're Meant to Be. The link is in the show notes. The masterclass walks you through how the inner child is running your business and how reparenting starts shifting those patterns from the inside out. And if you want to start doing this work today, my book, Healing the Inner Child with EFT Tapping, is also linked in the show notes. EFT reparenting is one of the fastest ways I know to start interrupting these old patterns at the body level. You were never supposed to earn your place here. You arrived with it. The proving was the pattern. The truth was always underneath it. This is the Inner Child Revolution, and I'll see you next time.